What's up, all my ninjas? Today is June 10th, 2019, and it feels good to be alive. I woke up this morning around 5:30 in the morning, so thumbs up for that. And I was about 196.4 pounds, which is okay, yeah. This whole weight loss thing is going to be an up and down journey. It's going to be fluctuating a lot, but honestly, it has to do with the fact that I pigged out on barbecue yesterday. You see, Stephanie and I actually went to a family function, and again, I believe one of the pillars to happiness is relationships, and I refuse to let my diet get in the way of me spending time with family or enjoying that experience to its full extent just because I want to lose like point something pounds. It's just not going to happen. And as for my run, that was non-existent. Usually I run a mile a day. I split up into 2 different laps, recording the second. Yesterday I ran the first one and my knee started to hurt, so I ended up walking the second lap because I committed to actually doing the 2 laps, so there's no excuses. Now today I actually want to go over a few things. I want to go over what I decided to do for the dosing of Baby Beauty, a day trade, and I actually want to go over like what I believe are the keys to success in like everything we do in life. All right, a little fun fact, a little bit after the sun started to rise, I actually checked out Baby Beauty, and the purple A can was looking insane. The way it was like puffed up was crazy. It's pretty gnarly to see like how far they can actually like contract and then see how far they can actually expand. Anyways, we're gonna start this off with the reef stuff because most of you guys are here for the reef stuff, and well, I want to make sure all of you get your fix as well as sharing my experience with you guys. So I actually want to pull up a comment from ReefGrrl, the one and only, the legend ReefGrrl, and talk about this long extensive comment she left, address everything she's talking about, and explain the decision I made. So I'm going to address this into little sections. Starting off with, I'm interested in the day trading stuff we'll be watching, so testing and dosing. From what I've seen and read, the number one thing to keep track of is alkalinity. I use the Balling light for my dosing system, which includes trace elements but not aminos. It's 3-part, but I've heard and read really good things about Alpha Reef, which is also Tropic Marin's product. Yeah, I hear amazing things about Tropic Marin. That's why the Alpha Reef is actually on my mind. I think that they're pretty due diligent about what they're going to be putting out and what they're going to tie their name to. Because it's based off alkalinity uptake and balances the rest. If you focus on Alk testing, then use Alpha Reef for dosing based off the results. This might really I can't read sometimes. Might be really efficient for your needs and priorities. Baby Beauty isn't yet heavily stocked, so once you get the info about her alk levels, you should be able to attain stability. I agree. For me, I'm more thinking preventatively. I'm thinking more in the future. I don't think that we are using enough alkalinity or any of the elements to actually warrant me rushing into implementing anything just yet. I believe that preparing for the future is the best way to see results in the future. Being ready for any given situation, whether it's good or bad, and having a system in place for that is the key. So I'm trying to think of what is best for Baby Beauty and my lifestyle in the future, which I would believe would be like months down the road. This way we're able to do more research, get more information from people like yourself, ReefGrrl, and other people in this community, and make informed decisions and react accordingly. All right, as for amino dosing at this stage should be minimal. Amino overdose isn't good, so even low levels will help. And if your doser can calibrate accurately to low doses, you'll be able to use what you have. Yeah, I totally agree. Right now, the amount of amino I'm dosing is for like a low stock softy tank. It's just a little bit, just to give the assistance, like that 30% buff to like the consumption and absorption of corals, so that we can see a little bit of progression towards their health, because I kind of neglected them while I was so focused on editing. Bottom line, if I were in your situation, do big water changes, update the Alk reagent for the Red Sea test kits and the Red Sea test kits, then set up the All for Reef system, what Baby Beauty needs to get target Alk. Keep testing and adjust as needed. Once this is stable and running the way you want, you could add something like acro power at low doses and watch what happens. Timeline to get this sorted should be under a month if you start right away, and if you have less time than that before you need to be away, I leave the amino dosing to the side basically. I totally agree with all that. And that's why I believe that this system is actually the one that I'm probably going to go with, the All for Reef, with the water changes. Because we have the 4-head dosing pump, and I talked to Dev and he gave me some solutions to protect against leaking or from overflowing of the tank and the buckets. This gives me the choice to actually do the automated water changes. And because we only need to test alkalinity, this system actually fits best with my personal lifestyle. You see, one of the things I'm concerned about is when I'm leaving, what if the tank starts looking bad, right? What if it starts looking bad? Someone comes in the room and they're like, the corals look horrible. Like, what's going on? Be able to say like, hey, can you just test alkalinity? Here's a HANA checker. You just got to do these few steps. Tell me that number. And then I'm able to tell them, hey, take that bottle and put this much of the All for Reef in the tank. That's simple. Whereas if we're doing another system like Triton or anything like that, I would have to be like, test your Alk, test this, test, if any, like the Red Sea, anything that involves more than one test kit, the odds of someone helping me out and be able to take care of the problem just go down exponentially. And for that reason, I believe that long-term wise, we're going to be doing the All for Reef. And it's all because Reefgrrl pointed out the fact and made me think about my lifestyle. But yeah, that's the plan. That's what I think is going to be the future of the dosing for Baby Beauty. Now let's talk about trade number 71. This one is actually a Binance Bitcoin pairing. Now last night, after my trading session was done, I actually went through all my Bitcoin trading pairings, and I ended up looking at the 2-hour, 4-hour, 1-hour graphs and looking to establish the trends for all of them. Here I was looking at the 2-hour graphs and set a downtrend, found a downtrend for Binance. For all of the pairings though, I actually set alarms to go off whenever we ended up moving outside of that established trend line. We did that on Binance around 11 p.m. at night. This is after my trading hours, so I left it alone. Well, I'll explain. If you look, we broke out, and we broke out hard. This is on a 5-minute graph, so this little retest right here, I don't really trust yet. I refuse to actually buy into anything on a breakout until we get a strong test of that support line. So I waited a bit. I didn't rush in because that's a quick way to actually get burned. Now we ended up eventually hitting the 1 hour right here, the 1 hour resistance, which is also the 2-hour resistance. And from there, we ended up dropping. As you guys can see, we start dropping fast. And this is exactly why I refuse to buy in or make any trades when we first break out of a pattern. It's just not safe. It's a quick way to get burned. Now, once we started actually establishing a higher low on the 1 hour, if you can see here, this is the last low, this is the new low. I started looking at the 5-minute graph so I could refine my entry. And here we started trading in a triangle pattern. And once we got a little breakout from that, boom, we set a new high, and I waited for another pullback, boom, higher low, and that's where I got in, right here. I got in right there on the higher low, knowing that but based off of this, we set a higher low on the 1 hour graph. My typical risk reward is a 1-to-1. I set my take profits for like 1.2%, which actually sets me up to be under the like 2 hour, the 4 hour, and the 1 hour previous high, which means even if we set a lower high, there's a chance that I could still get my trade like executed and still end up winning. Now I want to show you one more thing. I did not take into account the psychological resistance that was going to play into place at 40,000 Satoshi. Now psychological resistances are flat numbers, so it's like 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 100,000, anything that's just like a flat number. Our mind really likes it, and people send a lot of orders there, and it can really mess things up. So we hit that, let me see. Here we go, on the 5-minute graphs, we hit that psychological, boom, boom, boom. You see all those rejections right here? Boom, 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 boom. We end up setting a low, boom, okay? Look, low, lower low. And at this point, I was just like, it's not gonna work. I'd rather take my profits and be happy with what I get instead of stressing because we drop all the way back down to the resistance and I lose everything that we actually were patient about. So I set my profits to be just like on the next bounce. So I took my profits on the next bounce up when we set the lower high, and I took it at 0.64% gains. So if you minus the commissions, that's actually a 0.44% gain, which is okay because my goal for the day is 1% total. Every day is to make 1%, so maybe 1 or 2 more trades and we'll hit that. And it's better to take profits than to end up getting burnt. So yeah, all right, next trade. Just kidding, no more trading today. But since we've talked about the keys to happiness, how I believe it's a balance between health, wealth, relationships, I want to talk to you guys about my philosophy about what are the keys to success with every single thing you do. And I believe that's actually preparation and patience. You see, everything we talked about today revolved around preparation and patience. That's why I think it's appropriate to talk about it. With the tank, we're not really rushing into implementing any strategy, but because we've taken the time to think about all of the aspects of our life, our lifestyle, like who's around us, the capabilities of other people, like what problems can arise, we're able to make a decision that fits all of that. So whether things go good or things go bad, we're covered. In regards to the trade, not rushing into a trade or rushing late into a trade because we're like FOMOing in, like that allowed us to wait for the pullback, have some patience, wait for the pullback, and the preparation of drawing those trend lines let us know and gave us confidence that this was actually on a new trend and we were able to capitalize on that. In regards to like my fitness and all the personal stuff, like the fitness, same thing. When my knee starts hurting, I made a promise to myself that I was going to do the 2 miles to the best of my capabilities. There was no stress, there was no worry, there was no doubt in my mind that the moment my knee started to hurt, that was time to chill out, because the whole goal here is to be healthy, to do better. And if I'm destroying my joints and destroying my body, isn't that like counterintuitive? Like, what are we actually working towards? All right, let me know what you guys think about, like, what are the keys to success, and like, have you or are you implementing any of these things that we're talking about with like the keys of happiness or keys of success in your life? And in the comments below, actually, do we have a comment to read? Yeah, I think we do have a comment to read. Let's check this out real quick. Where you at? Where you at? Comments, boom. Boom, comments. Let's find this thing. Find it. Find it. Find it. Comments. Let's read Debs. You are a motivation machine. I woke up at 5 a.m. today too. How's the trading been going for you? one day you'll have to teach me all your knowledge. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it, brother. That honestly, that motivates me to keep doing what we're doing and just keep sharing my message and keep sharing the ups and downs of all these things that we're trying to accomplish, and let you and everybody else know that this isn't a straight line to success, that all the things we're trying to achieve, there's going to be ups and downs. And as long as we're trending up, as long as we're in an uptrend, as long as we're keeping our head up and not letting things like bring us down and bouncing back, we'll find success. All right, in the comments below, let me know if you have any comments or any questions that you want me to address in a future video. And while you're down there, hit that like button, subscribe, stay positive, and don't forget to do amazing things. Like, practice your dad jokes, but you should probably practice those with your dog, because let's be honest, dad jokes, they're bad enough. Never mind like a bad dad joke. All right, peace.